30th of March 1981, just before 2:30 p.m., shots rang out as American President Ronald Reagan was leaving the Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C. Two staffers and a police officer went down in the hail of bullets. The shots also hit the presidential limousine, which was quickly driven away. At first, no one realized the president himself had been hit, as the bullet had entered under his armpit. Reagan himself thought his pain was due to a fractured rib, but when his security men checked him for injuries, he coughed up blood, indicating a punctured lung. The car was swiftly diverted to George Washington University Hospital, and the president insisted on walking unaided to the emergency room, where he collapsed and was whisked into surgery. Fortunately, Reagan recovered well and was soon out of hospital. He returned to the Oval Office less than a month after the shooting, to the applause of his staffers. As the shots rang out at the Washington Hilton, it didn't take authorities long to identify the culprit. He was John Hinckley, Jr., the son of a wealthy, well-connected Texan oil family. Hinckley had become obsessed with the 1976 movie Taxi Driver, in which a character played by Robert De Niro plots to assassinate a presidential candidate. He fixated on actress Jodie Foster, who portrayed a teen prostitute in the film. In 1980, Foster was studying at Yale University, and Hinckley enrolled at the college in an attempt to get near her. He left love letters and poems in her mailbox, and on March 29, he saw the president's schedule in the newspaper and decided to do something so spectacular it would grab Foster's attention.
Due to my profession as an actress, I've often been contacted by strangers. I discourage all strangers from calling or visiting me. I receive a great deal of unsolicited mail, but I seldom read it. I've never met, spoken to, or in any way associated with one John W. Hinckley. Last fall, I received several pieces of unsolicited correspondence signed John W. Hinckley or JWH, and I threw them all away. This is not uncommon, as I receive a great deal of similar unsolicited correspondence. At the beginning of March, I received three or four or more notes similarly signed, and on March 6, 1981, I gave them to my college dean, who in turn gave them to the Yale police. These are now in the custody of the FBI. In none of these letters and notes I received was any mention, reference, or implication ever made as to violent acts against anyone, nor was the president ever mentioned. I've cooperated fully with the FBI, the Secret Service, and the U.S. Attorney's Office, and I will continue to do so.
The aftermath of the shooting saw Hinckley in jail and Foster under siege from the press. For years afterwards, any mention of the shooting would be enough to have the actress immediately leave the interview. She confined her comments to the press conference held soon after the assassination attempt, an article entitled "Why Me?" written for Esquire magazine in 1982, and a 60 Minutes interview in 1999. Foster was also compelled to testify that she had no relationship with Hinckley at his 1982 trial. Hinckley's family hired the best defense money could buy, high-powered lawyer Vincent J. Fuller, who successfully argued that Hinckley should be found not guilty on the grounds of insanity. Instead of a life in jail, Hinckley was admitted to a psychiatric hospital for an indefinite period. There he remains, although he's since been allowed out to spend time with his family. Reagan served out his term as president and won the next election by a landslide, despite being well into his 70s. His vice president, George Bush, succeeded him. Jodie Foster went on to have an Oscar-studded career, specializing in playing victimized women who fight back against their attackers.